Hey folks, welcome back to another review with yours truly, Sam Healey. Today we're taking a look at this little fella right here, Brethren of the Coast. It is a pirate-themed game where each player is taking on the role of a captain of a fleet of buccaneer ships that are trying to get the most loot and doubloons from Spanish galleons that are floating around the Caribbean. And basically whoever has the most doubloons at the end of the game is the winner. It's a very simple game, very fast game, so let's get down to the table and I'll show you. In Brethren of the Coast, the basic gist of the entire game, the whole point is to get the most doubloons. Now, doubloons are, you start the game with 4 doubloons. You can get doubloons from attacking these Spanish galleons and winning the battle. And some of the cards that are going to be on the galleons are going to be these cards like this. This is worth 4 doubloons at the end of the game. This is worth 3, 1, 2, and so forth and so on. And then you also have treasure cards. Whoever has the most treasure cards gets all of the doubloons that are in the center spot here. So the whole point of the game is to have the most doubloons at the end of the game. Now, during your turn, it's really simple. You're going to do 3 things. You're going to play a ship on one of these Spanish galleon cards. You're going to play a card on a different one, and then you're going to draw a card from the deck. The game will end when everybody has played all of their cards and all of the ships are out, and then whoever has the most points at that point is the winner. So on your turn, as I said earlier, you're going to be able to play 1 ship, 1 card, and draw a card. Now, you play your ship first, and the reason you're playing ships out onto these different cards is because it's representing the strength of your fleet that you're sending out to attack that Spanish galleon. So you have 2 different size ships here. You have one that has 3 masts on it, and then the other one has 2 masts on it. That represents how powerful that ship is. So this has a power of 3, and this has a power of 2 in your fleet. So when you place a ship out there, you simply put it into one of the spots. It's the first one out there. It's the strongest fleet, so it goes in the 1 spot, strongest fleet spot. Then, after I've played a ship, I can take a card and play them on one of the other galleons that are out there. You can never place a ship and a card on the same Spanish board. So here, cannons are going to be attacking the strongest fleet at the ship if there's only 1 cannon there. There are also cards that are muskets. Let's see if I can find one here. There we go. There are also muskets. If there's a musket and only 1 musket, then they attack the weakest fleet that is at that shipboard. If there are 2 cannons or 2 muskets, the Spanish attack blunders, and the buccaneers, the pirates, the good guys, get away scot-free. Now, you always play cards face up. If you want to play a card face down, for example, if you're playing a cannon or a musket and you don't want anybody to know that it's there, you simply have to pay 1 doubloon to the center board, and then you can play that face down over here. Otherwise, cards are played face up, like so. And then once I've played a ship and I've played a card, I draw a card from the top, add it to my hand. That's the end of my turn. Now, once 1 Spanish galleon has 6 cards played on it, then that galleon is reckoned, which means we take an evaluation, basically of the battle, what happened as far as who gets what loot and what not. So first of all, any cards that are face down are turned face up so that all of them are showing. All right, so there are 2 cannons. If there had been only 1 cannon, then the green fleet here, the most powerful fleet, would be reduced to its single weakest ship, and then ships would be realigned like so. That's if there was only 1 cannon there. All right, then if there had been only 1 musket, then that attack would have been levied against the weakest, and they would have lost at exactly 1 ship. And then a fleet that only has 1 ship, it would be completely destroyed. But that's if a musket attack happens. But in this case, since there are 2 cannons, the attack on the Buccaneers actually gets bungled, and the Buccaneers get away scot-free. Now, what would happen here is that the loot is divided up. Any marked doubloons, like for example this one, goes to the fleet that is in first place. So this would go to the green player. This one would go to the yellow player, since yellow is in third spot here. And then, since there are no other marked doubloons, green would get first choice, and then down the line. So since there are only 2 cards here, only green and blue are going to be getting that. So green's going to go ahead and stick with the doubloons, take the 4, and blue will take the treasure. Then this is turned over like so, and it becomes a settlement. All of the ships that were here in the reckoning go away back into the box. And now cards and ships can be played on this, any number of them. There isn't a maximum of 6, so that it's reckoned. And then at the end of the game, these settlements are scored in the same fashion that the ships were scored. And then once, as I said before, everybody's ships have been played out and all of the cards in the deck have been played out, final scoring happens. Whoever has the most doubloons is the winner. So as you can see with Brethren of the Coast, the gameplay is very simple, very quick, very light. All you have to do is play a ship, play a card, draw a card on your turn. So your turns go by really, really fast, and there isn't a whole lot of game time that is spent doing nothing. There isn't a whole lot of downtime in the game at all because your turns go so quickly. Now, there is sometimes the possibility of analysis paralysis happening, but really it's such a light, easy, simple game that I didn't run into that a whole lot. But the card play is really where the game kind of shines. You want to play most of your cards face up, but knowing when to play cards is the best thing, because you want to save those cannons and those muskets to go after the people that are maybe vying for the same fleet that you're vying for. So if you're in the lead, you want to try to make sure that there are 2 cannons there, if any at all, because if 1 cannon is there, you're going to get the brunt of that attack. Maybe you're going to try to play muskets down. Also, those treasure cards can be worth a lot of points at the end of the game. So having the most treasure is a really big thing. And then also having the second most treasure is also a big thing, because you guys split the loot at the end of the game. So that is a kind of a good bonus, but it's not necessarily a game winner. So I wouldn't put all of your eggs in that basket. However, it is very important for you to not ignore it, because some person can run away with a lot of points at the end of the game. Most of your points are going to be received by the different doubloon cards that you're going to be picking up from the different Spanish galleons and the Spanish settlements that you're attacking. So all in all, it's a very light, almost take that kind of card game, but not really, because the only take that element is whether or not you're going to play a cannon or a musket on a settlement or a ship that somebody else might be trying to get. So it's very light take that, but there's a hint of it there. So all in all, I think the game is decent. Unfortunately, I didn't have a whole lot of fun playing it. I mean, it was almost too simple. There wasn't enough for me to kind of grab it with my mental hooks or anything like that. It just didn't have enough of a oomph to it. If I'm going to play a Pirates game, I'm going to play something that is a little bit more piratey, you know, maybe something like Jamaica or Pirates Cove or something to that effect. This one, while it's very simple and it's very neat and it's a clever design, it just wasn't that fun for me. So it's just going to get maybe a 5 or a 6, depending on what mood I'm in for that particular moment. But that being said, it is a decent design, so I'm not really knocking it that much. Just wasn't really down my alley, so to speak. A couple of people that I played with also had the same feelings. One person just didn't like it at all, but other people were just like, yeah, you know, yeah, it's okay, it's good, yeah, not bad. What's next? You know, so it's just one of those things where I think it's going to fall somewhere in between. It's not a bad design, but it's also, for me at least, not very fun either. There is some tension in the game. What card do I play here? What Spanish fleet do I go after with my fleet ships? What settlement am I trying to get? Am I trying to get the most treasure cards, or do I want to stick with just getting the doubloon cards off of those things? So a lot of really minor decisions that could amount for you to a very fun experience, and I did enjoy it. But as I said earlier, probably a 5 or a 6 for me. It's an okay game, but just not one that I think will have any staying power. So that's it for Brethren of the Coast. We'll see you guys on the flip side.